Hey everybody, congratulations on starting a yoga practice. Just a little reminder as to why we're here today. We want to feel better inside and out. We want to have a good time in what we're doing. Okay, we're not going to overthink it. We're just going to relax and enjoy this time together. Maybe share some thoughts and let's do some yoga. Today is for complete beginners. So if you've never done yoga before, this is the video for you. If you have any questions or comments, please send them below and we will get back to you. Let's get started. Okay, guys and girls. So first of all, congratulations on your journey, starting out your yoga practice. It's very exciting. It's wonderful. Standing on our feet, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask and I'll get back to you. You can comment underneath the video. But I would love to help you along this journey, so definitely reach out and let's chat. Okay, take your arms down alongside your body and let your feet be hip-width distance apart. And you're going to look down at your toes here and just notice what they look like. And then look up to your hips right here. So we want to find the ASIS bone at the front of the hip here. And we're going to draw an imaginary line from that bone straight down all the way down to the floor. You're just going to follow it down with your eyes and pretend that that line is cutting the first and the second toe of each foot in half. Okay? Not in half, but it's going to land in between the first and second toe. So here I have my ASIS bones, and I go down, and they're lining up between my first and second toe. So that's my hip width distance apart, okay? So you can check for yours and see where yours is. And oftentimes, we think our hips are wider than they actually are. For me, I had to step a little bit wider with my feet because in my mind, hip width for me was a little bit closer. So it's just a nice little lesson in our practice here. And then think about the sole of your foot as the batter of pancakes, okay, pancake batter. And how the batter, when you pour it onto the pan, it spreads out. The sole of the foot, we want that to kind of happen as well when we're standing on the sole of the foot, but of course it's not loose batter. We want to get grounded, okay, into the foot. So think of the sole of your foot as having 3 points. The ball of the foot has 2 at the top, and then the heel has 1. Some teachers like to say 4 corners of your foot, so you can focus on that as well if you want. The heel would have 2 spots on the outer edges, and then the ball of the foot has 2. So 4 corners of your feet is often said in yoga. You can also visualize those 3 points as well. The heel and then the ball having 2 points. So press down into all of those areas, the front of the foot and the back of the foot. What happens a lot of the time is we either stand towards the front of our feet or we stand towards the back of the feet, okay? So this is the first thing we want to figure out. Hips, and then how am I standing on my feet, okay? So not just forward or back, but outside of foot and inside of foot, we tend to go in either direction, okay? So can you come to the center of each foot and ground down evenly into each foot? Can you? Can you? I think you can. And then a lot of times also in yoga classes, you'll hear the teacher talk about lifting and spreading your toes. So what we're trying to do in yoga is not grip with the toes. That's the whole point of that, okay? You want to have the toes eventually come down to the floor, but you don't want to be gripping the floor with your toes, okay? So we try and instill a practice of relaxing the toes by saying, lift and spread your toes, okay? It also, by doing that, it also helps to bring attention to the ball of the foot and the heel. So those points that we want to ground down into. Okay, so now let's move up the legs a little bit. The ankle, we want to keep those feet straight. So we're going to think about railroad tracks, okay? Look down at your feet again. And that's how we want them to be, straight like railroad tracks, okay? Move up into the ankle and then let that go up into the knee. So you're going to move your visual up to the knee here. The knee is stacked somewhat on the ankle, okay? Now for me, as soon as I start to move up the leg, my attention, when it leaves my feet, I go back to that habitual way of standing, right? So go back to your feet again, revisit that, and make sure it's even, okay? So then go back up to the knees and just notice where the knees are. Make sure they're above your ankles somewhat. And then the hips are above the knees, right? So when we build a house, we want to stack the wood. I'm not a builder, okay? I'm a yoga teacher. So we want to stack the wood to build the house, or the bricks, okay? We don't do it all wonky all over the place, because then the foundation's not going to be good. So we're trying to do that. We're trying to stack the body, stack the bones. We talk about that a lot in yoga, stacking the bones. We want to stack them so that they're working together. Okay, so now my hips are not just on their own up here with nothing to support them. They're standing right above the knees that are supporting them, the ankles, and then the feet, right? They're all helping you out with how you're standing. So from the pelvis here, we're grounding down into the feet, okay? Evenly pressing. But now get the sensation of lifting up and out of your ankles. You feel that? So feel the sensation of grounding down, and we're going to visualize roots of a tree. And they're going to dig down from the sole of the foot into the earth. They're going to spread out really wide and go all over the place. Okay, we have these strong roots, and they're really thick, and they're just kind of making their way all over the earth. And that's connected to you. So you are like a tree. And no matter which way we kind of blow in the wind, we're rooted down. That's the idea here. We're rooted down. We're more secure than we think we are, maybe. I don't know. But if you can visualize that, then perhaps you can feel that sense of strength in your posture, okay? So we want to feel those roots and visualize roots digging down from the feet and moving across the earth at a distance that makes you feel secure, okay? Because then all of those roots around you are holding you. At the same time, we want to lift up and out of the ankles so the body weight is light, okay? So we want to kind of be like a feather weight. I'm constantly going back to my feet, so make sure you're trying to do that as well. It's very helpful to keep revisiting. Now your knees, little bend, okay? We want a little bend in the knees. If you have your legs straight, then you're not using the muscles as much to give you strength to stand, okay? So a little bend is really good because that's gonna activate the muscles and not just have bone on bone holding you, okay? Little bend, teeny tiny. And it also helps to not hyperextend your muscles as well, which is a very common thing that people do. So if you're hyperextending, again, you're not really using the muscles. You're using the bone on the bone, okay? So we don't want to do that. So we have the knees a little bit bent. We're grounding down with those beautiful roots. They're digging and they're spreading nice and wide, okay? I'm just tilting a little bit because I'm checking out the clock and I'm making sure the sun is good and I'm checking it with it. I'm like an octopus. I like to have a lot of things going on at the same time in my head. Okay. So we're grounding down. I really don't like to be like that. I'm just saying that that's what happens. Okay. So we're grounding down. The roots are digging. Okay. We move up. We're light out of the ankles, very light. I'm lifting out of my ankles. And then the shoulders are going to come back and down. Okay. So we're lining up our posture today. Okay. So the shoulders come up and back, right? How do we normally stand throughout the day? right? We just kind of hunch with the shoulders. We forget about it, right? The legs are doing a lot of the work, right? The upper body is just like hanging out, having a party, right? We don't want to do that. We want to use these muscles. We want to engage the muscles. That's what they're there for. They're not there to just hang out all day and do nothing, right? So we end up having problems in our bodies because we're not using the muscles for what they were made to be used for, okay? So once we ground down into these feet and we rise up out of the ankles, now pay attention to those shoulders coming up and back and the heart reaching forward. Now, we can practice this posture. Does it mean we're going to walk around all day like this? Probably not, okay? But the more aware we are of it, the better, because it's going to help us pull those shoulders up and back. Again, thinking of the stacking of the bones, okay? So if your shoulders are forward, they're not stacked with your hips, okay? So if you pull them up and back and let them be stacked, right? It makes more sense and gives us more support. Go back to the feet, check on those, make sure they're evenly pressing. Got it? Okay. So shoulders up and back. And now check out your head. Now, what is the most common thing you see with people with their heads? They're like this, their head is forward, right? Which adds a ton of weight to the spine. A ton, okay? So we want the head to be stacked on top of the shoulders back and down. Look at my lower back here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a curve there. It's a lumbar curve. We want that to be there, okay? In yoga classes, if you hear a teacher saying, tuck your tailbone, run away. Run away. Okay, maybe don't run away because that'll be too obvious. But you want that tailbone to be neutral, okay? You do not want to tuck your tailbone, okay? That's going to add stress to areas of the body that it shouldn't have stress, okay? So natural lumbar curve, shoulders back and down, stack, 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 okay? Even out those feet, grow up through the crown of the head. Let the back of your head, I like to say this in classes a lot, pretend you have a wall right behind you, and you're gonna push your head slightly back like you're pushing it into a wall, okay? And you can actually practice this at home. It's very interesting and very fun just to check on your own posture, okay? So you push your head back like you're pushing up against a wall. At the same time, maybe the back of the head here is lining up with your sacrum, which is that area of the lower back here, below the lumbar curve, that's sticking out naturally, okay? It's a natural position for your hips to be in, and the sacrum is that lowest part of the spine right here at the very base. It's the flat part of the spine, the bones that fuse together at the bottom of your spine here, okay? You can feel it right above, can I say this? Your butt crack, can I say that? So right above that is where the sacrum is, okay? So if you're standing against a wall, you might have your butt touching the wall at the same time that your head is touching the wall, and then the shoulders back and down, right? So let's open up the heart, soften the jaw, go back to the feet. Think of those roots, digging deeply and pushing out. Knees are soft, soften the jaw. That's how we do it in yoga. Good. That's when we say soften the jaw, we mean relax the jaw. Okay, a lot of us have a tense jaw a lot of the time. If you're feeling stressed, visit your jaw. You'll notice what's happening, okay, when I say this. It's very common to have a tight jaw, and when we do, it's affecting everything else. The neck, okay, moves down the back of the body. Shoulders, right? All these areas don't just become tight for no reason. They're all connected, okay? So relax your jaw. That's how we do it, okay? Shoulders back and down. So a very simple yoga posture from here is the arms alongside with the palms facing forward. This is your mountain pose, also known as Tadasana in Sanskrit. Mountain pose. And you can see how it is a mountain. because you're grounded. You're really secure in this posture. Another way to practice Tadasana, mountain pose, is to take those arms up alongside the body and reach up towards the sky. This is an extended mountain pose. Again, go back to the feet and make sure they're grounded into the earth, hip width distance, and straight forward, straight back. Let your knees have a teeny tiny bend in them. Push down with the feet, but lift up and out of your ankles. Drop your shoulders down. Soften your jaw. Relax your jaw. It's hard to have a tense, tight jaw when you're smiling. So you can try that out. A really big, pearly white smile. Take a deep breath in. Good, let everything go. Good, now lower your arms down alongside your body, and you can feel what's happening inside your body here. The blood is moving, and you can feel your hands tingling now because the blood is moving back into them. It's all good, it's all good. Shake out your legs. Shake out your shoulders. Good, breathe in. So are you going to have to keep revisiting the posture in your yoga practice in life? Yep, you are. You are. But the more aware we are of it, the easier it's going to be, and it's kind of fun because, you know, if you're standing at the grocery store, what else are you going to do? You might as well think about your posture, right? And be aware of it and say, oh, shoulders up and back, heart is open, good. Planting into the feet, lifting out of the ankles, bending slightly in the knees. Good. Bring your hands together into prayer. Let's do another standing posture together. And we're going to shift the weight into the left foot. So when we say that, what we actually mean is stand on your left leg only, okay? So the left leg is going to hold all of your body weight in tree posture. Now, what we want to do now is remember all the things that we did for Tadasana, mountain pose, and revisit it now just with one foot, okay? So this one foot, my left foot now, is digging its roots down into the earth. Really strong and thick roots, okay? Hands are in prayer. I want my posture to still be light and lifting out of my ankle. And then the right foot for tree can come right alongside this left ankle. Now watch what's happening in your hips here, okay? You don't want to dip down into this left hip. You want to use those muscles, push the floor away with the foot, and lift out of that hip, okay? So not sinking into it, lifting out of it, okay? So then we're using all these muscles. That's really good. So the right foot is inside the ankle. The shoulders are up and back. The heart, the chest, is lifting up towards the sky. Good. We're inhaling deeply, exhaling everything out of the body. Good. Inhaling deeply, exhaling everything out of the body. Good. Now the right foot, if you'd like, you can move it up the leg. You can also put it on a block or some books alongside you here. You can place it inside the left leg, not on the knee, okay? Or lift it up a little higher above the knee and hang out there. Again, we're not on the knee joint. Very important. We don't want to push the knee joint, put any stress on the knee joint. That's unnecessary and against nature. Okay? We're grounding into that left foot. We're lifting up with the body. The pelvis is level in this posture. Okay? So you can check on those ASIS bones here at the front again. Shoulders back and down. We're breathing deeply. Remember the smile. Helps to relax the jaw. Helps to free up all that energy too, right? We have a nice clear channel happening. So if the right foot wants to, it can revisit the floor. It doesn't have to stay in one position for tree. You can switch it up. An option for your tree is to take those arms up towards the sky. Good. Take a deep breath in. Good. Stare at something in front of you that is not moving to help you balance. Lower the arms when you're ready and lower that right leg down to the ground. Good. Shake it out a little bit. Get some freedom happening in your joints and your muscles. And now your right leg is going to hold your body weight for the other side of tree, okay? So now your left foot comes inside the ankle. See how I'm rotating my leg open here? We want the knee to point somewhat to that left direction. Okay, so rotating open, but keeping your pelvis facing forward. Bring the hands into prayer. Good. Shoulders up and back. I'm going to keep my left foot on the floor on this side, so each side doesn't have to match perfectly, okay? Do what feels good for you. Push down with the right foot, relax the toes. Lift your body weight out of that leg, rise up out of the pelvis. We're not sinking into that right hip, okay? It's level. We're using those muscles to push and lift, shoulders up and back. And then the arms, you can stay here for prayer, in prayer, or rise up towards the sky. Good. Drop the shoulders down. Keep looking in front of you at something that's not moving. Good. Notice how you feel. These are very strengthening and empowering postures. They can become a meditation if you find something to stare at and just focus on breathing in and out. Let the body feel good. Good. Lower the arms. Good. Release that left leg down to the ground and come back to your evenly placed standing posture. Shoulders up and back. Breathe in deeply and exhale a sigh. Good. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. We will be adding many, many, many more. And if you have comments or questions, please let us know. Share the page, like the video, and tell your friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Namaste.